Okay, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus Park. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, you can find us wherever you get all your podcasts. We're on pretty much every single platform. You can check out our videos on our YouTube channel, Above the Bridge Podcast, and our website is atbpod.com. For all our platforms, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It matters. And we appreciate you taking time out to tune into our show. Aloha. Okay, this week I'm welcoming back one of my favorite people on planet Earth, and he's the owner of Medicinal Mushrooms Hawaii. And we had him on the show previously, but his company's been expanding, and I wanted to get him back on to explain a few things to me and to our listeners. Welcome back, Clint Pahia. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me again, Tad. It's been such a great time talking story with you, And before we start, I wanted to thank you, Thank you very much for what you do. Week by week, you bring on people and create this community of people that help out. We're all like-minded individuals. I met a lot of cool people from this show, so I really wanted to thank you, bro. Give you the big mahalo for doing what you do.
Right on, bro. I appreciate that. And you've been doing a lot of cool things. I think with our circle of friends, I was talking to Frankie and kind of explaining to him how because we're all different, I think magnetically God put us together for each other. We're not everyday normal people, and I'm sure every group of friends have their own stories, but I know for us, we ain't normal. We're not the cookie cutter people that went to college, went get a job and buckled down. We that's not us. We didn't do that. And we all have super different goals and dreams. But one thing about our closed circle, we always bet on ourselves. We always pull the trigger and we always work hard and have a good work ethic to make those dreams come true. And your dream with this mushroom company just started blooming, and I've been so impressed, for one, with your knowledge on everything, two, how hard you working to build it. I'm also impressed you brought Jaren on, because that guy is a great spokesperson because he's Portuguese. But that was a super good move, and for me it was awesome to see two of my close friends working together to build this thing. And so props to you. And that's how I feel about our friends, if that's the same with you.
The same, bro. And the talent that everybody got, like you said, nobody really does the same thing, but somehow our closeness brings together a lot of different talent. Like, for example, Jaron, him being in the medical field and really knowing how medicinal properties work. It really helps me understand how these mushrooms can tie into helping heal other people. And just having him jump on, his enthusiasm, his willingness to be there, man. And it's been a tough 2 years. I'm not gonna, and there's been a lot of growth. Let's just say growth,
Yeah.
You've been with me every step of the way, always down. And that's kind of like how we all are with each other, no matter what everybody does, we're always down to support, bro.
Yeah.
So, but yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Jaren is definitely a good spokesperson. He can get anybody riled up in a positive way to what he's got going on. So I imagine he can get everybody excited about your mushrooms. And yeah, just working together. I feel like you guys could work well together when adversity comes, because you guys are both smart and you guys both are very, I don't know how to say it without swearing. Like you don't, like you're very, you guys don't give up. You guys are very headstrong, and if you guys see an adversity, you'll go through it, and there's no stopping with you two guys at the helm. But I know you guys had a rough 2 years, and the results from those 2 years been super amazing. And I just realized from our first episode, I watched part of it and I noticed I only had one tincture on this shelf when me and you talked last.
Wow.
So basically, you got four more different
Yeah.
mushrooms here for people to try out, but let's kind
Right.
of go over all of them and just what their benefits that most of them do, and then I want to get into the cordyceps a bit with you because that's the newest one, and that one kind of took me by surprise. And yeah, I want to get into that with you, but
And personally, that's my favorite one too, and was the last one to acquire. But
yeah,
wow, Lions, man, yeah, that was the last one we were on. Holy
yeah.
camole, a lot. There's been a lot that's been going on. And just to kind of recap the Lions, man, it's a nootropic quality. And what I mean by nootropic is that it's small enough to pass through the blood-brain barrier. So it helps increase flow from the neuron gaps. And as we get older, as we eat different stuff, as we stress out more and more of those gaps get filled by this plaque. And it not only helps increase the flow of neurons between both of them, but it also takes away some of the plaques, you know. I've always tried to look for the dementia, Alzheimer aspect of them.
Mm.
And I gotta say, I'm not too sure how much of the improvements we've been seeing from our customers, you know. But what I do notice, I guess over time, if it's been blocked long enough, there's an atrophy that types tends to happen, you know. And if the older generations, they been atrophied a lot. So I'm not too sure how much of that can repair. So
Oh,
I we haven't been having too much success for the dementia and Alzheimer's, but what I do notice is the short-term memories, you know, being able to recall things, forget where you put your keys, those types of things has really been seeming to help out too. I know a lot of students have been taking it, UH students right before they take tests and stuff like that. So there is a neurological boost that you do get from it. It does help with mood. It does help increase or allow you to take things a little bit where you would get excited or maybe overreact as some of the boys do sometimes, you know. Kind of roll off our shoulders a little bit easier. But yes, I know last episode I kind of went super off into the lines, man. And please, Tad, you got to stop me. I'm so reluctant to start talking benefits because
yeah,
I go kind of geek out on this. I kind of see everybody's eyes glass over, and I
yeah,
do. If I get to that point, let me know, brother.
yeah, yeah. What alliance mean? I want to ask you. You said it cannot really stop Alzheimer's or like fix it, but could it prevent it? Like say I'm taking it now, will that help me in the future to kind of prevent that kind of stuff from happening?
So that's what I do believe. It
Mm.
does have the quality to take care of that plaque that does build up. And I think a lot of the older people that has been taking it, for example, my mom, our parents, that's the kind of issues that they're facing right now. But I do notice that if we were to catch them when they were younger, we might have been able to prevent it. And mind you, too, this is just based off of my tinctures, my set of tinctures. I'm sure that there's a lot more study or maybe different things that we could do, but this is just kind of based off of my past 2 years, the different feedback that I've been getting from the different people. And I've been trying them all. You know, I've been hoping to find that cure for dementia and Alzheimer's, but maybe just a little bit more. But I do believe the preventative side is what really going to help us in the long run. So yes,
That's awesome.
yeah,
So I'm gonna
yeah.
be tanking this for the rest of my life just so that doesn't happen to me. But to be honest, I take it every morning, but I do also take it every time, maybe like 10, 15 minutes before I record these shows. It locks me in a little better. It kind of clears my mind and kind of helps me focus on on the conversations that I'm having, and that thing's been a blessing. And that's just the first one, bro. That's just the first mushroom.
I, the second mushroom we worked on was chaga, and we actually tried to grow it here. You can find chaga when you go hiking up in the mountains. Got pictures of my daughter finding some in the forest, but
Oh wow.
we noticed that you just don't get the quality type of medicine unless you get it from the mainland. So these chaga is our antioxidant. That's its superpower right there. What it does, and I don't know if you know much about oxidative stress and inflammation. I kind of went large into this because part of starting this company was to try heal Lisa. She's got her autoimmune disease, and just really figuring out how oxidation affects our bodies, inflammation affects our bodies, and it's kind of come to find out a lot of people believe inflammation is the root of everything, of heart attacks, of cancers, of strokes, anything wrong stems from inflammation, So, oxidative stress, the culprit behind all of this is something called free radicals. And free radicals is basically a cell with imbalanced neurons. And as it floats around and touches good parts or good cells, it imbalances their neurons and turning good cells into free radicals. So it's kind of spreads and spreads throughout your body, goes through your bloodstream, collects in your joints, collects in your organs, and starts to build up over there. And after a while, it builds up to the point where you go into this oxidative stress mode. And that's when your body's fighting. Our body releases antioxidants to help counter this, but we get a lot of this free radicals from the things we eat, the things we drink, the things we inhale. And if we continue doing that, we build a pile up to the point where our body can't handle this. So it gets to the point where it becomes from oxidative stress to inflammation. It's kind of like your body doesn't go through cycles of turning on the defense button, turning it off. It's just auto fight. It's like the guy putting down their head and just swinging blind already. Inflammation response of our bodies and oxidative. So because we ingest most of this free radicals, we are looking to try and ingest stuff with antioxidant capabilities. So stuff like acai berries, pomegranates, things that we eat help lower the oxidative stress. And that's why I went for the chaga. Chaga is really, so I think acai berries has 145 ORAC. ORAC is a number that they give to antioxidant ingestion. I think blueberries have 45 ORAC, while chaga has 1100
Oh,
ORAC. So it's like one of the highest things that you can take for antioxidant behavior. So
oh
I
wow.
don't know why we went with chaga. They call it the king of mushrooms, and it kind of helps support what I believe the root of every disease out there, the root of every problem we have, everything from a sore elbow to cancer of the stomach, is because of inflammation. So, um, yes, so that's not something we can actually grow here. So antioxidants is one of the biggest things. It has a high rate of antioxidant, but chaga also has what they call a SOD or super oxidized dimutacid. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, but SOD. But this is like antioxidant cells super Saiyan mode, super
Yeah.
also attacks cancer cells and attacks a tumor in cancer too. So it does have a lot of anti-cancer properties that needs to be studied, but is able to take them. But so that's the number one reason why, or probably the best thing, and that helps with inflammation, antioxidant, helps lower the gut. There's also a good probiotic,
Oh,
prebiotic
okay.
quality that you get from it. Probiotic being good bacterial flora, prebiotic being the food that probiotics need to eat, you know. And there's not a lot of things that go that you can take that has the prebiotic quality. So that's another thing that I really like about the chaga. There's an antiviral capability, or, its ability to adjust to different types of viruses in our body. They did really good studies on from everything from the common cold to HIV. So
Oh,
there's
wow.
yeah, there's a lot of study that's been going on that been helping it. So another thing that I like about chaga is its ability to increase our endurance. So they did a test study on rats and they tried to drown rats basically, and then they dissected them and they found that they had a lower lactic acid level.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, yeah, yeah. So,
Oh,
and which lactic acid buildup is muscle fatigue and stuff
yeah.
like. And then they had also a higher glycogen level, which is our body's energy, So put all of that together. This is kind of why we went with chaga. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's an awesome mushroom. I didn't realize it had that many
Capable.
yeah, and inflammation for me has been big. I always getting tendonitis or something is always hurting. So I've been taking I mean I take all this stuff on the daily, but that's good to know. I'm kind of shocked that that one had that many stuff to deal with inflammation. That could be a benefit for a lot of people suffering with arthritis and stuff like that. And like just from gym fatigue and bruh, everybody I talk to at the gym is hurting somewhere. And yeah, I'll just tell them try this then. That'll be good. And
Yes,
that was
definitely.
your second mushroom, right? That was the second one you brought out.
That was the second one I brought out. We kind of went through some trials and tribulations. And then we found out that the chaga that grows on white birch trees have a higher SOD content. So we kind of import all of that in now. I'm not really looking to grow everything. I'm looking to make strong medicine. So whatever I got to do, however I got to do them, that's been my main focus on all of that. But
Oh,
yeah, that
that's
was
cool.
the mushroom that we brought out.
Well, one thing about the chaga, and this is just me talking, for me, that's the worst tasting one. And I
Yeah,
like mushrooms. I like the earthy flavors, and I honestly I take all this stuff under my tongue. I don't mix it into anything. That one is the rough one, but I get through
right.
it.
It is hard, Ron. It's one of the hardest mushrooms to work with. It comes out like stone, So grinding it up and really getting a good tincture pool out of it is one of the harder mushrooms to work with. They use it for soaps and stuff like that, shampoos. I'm actually trying to test it in some dog lines, which I'll get to later on. Something I definitely want to
Oh,
talk
okay,
about.
okay. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
one of the worst ones. You're not the only one, Ron. Other people tell me exactly the same thing.
Okay, let's take a short break from our show to shout out our sponsors. We have Defend Hawaii, and they have a store in Windward Mall called No One. You can check out their website at defendhawaii.com. If you take a look on their website, they have some new stuff for back to school, some new collaborations with the University of Hawaii football team. Give them a look. Go to defendhawaii.com. And if you use promo code ATBPOD upon checkout, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase order. If you do click on the Above the Bridge podcast link, let them know we sent you there. Thank you. Now back to our program. Aloha.
Yeah, so the second, I mean, the third mushroom we worked with, and it's actually one of the ones that we grow here. You can find it here in Hawaii, and I was able to get a strain and work it on a petri dish and adjust it so that I could grow it here first in our tent and then grow it outside. So it's actually one of the mushrooms that I can take outside.
Oh,
I
okay.
love working with this mushroom. My goal is to grow a 6 foot big conch. I got to do a lot of a little bit more to doing that kind of stuff. But the thing that makes red reishi such a powerful mushroom is its spores that it gives off. There's a ton of spores, and as a grower, I'm able to capture a lot of the spores. As opposed to say I bought this from the mainland, they wouldn't really include the spores, but because I'm a grower, I can put collars around it and kind of capture as much spores as I can,
Oh,
and then
nice.
tinctures. But the spore medicinal quality would be the same as if I ate. So I think that it's for every pound of mushroom, I'm sorry, for every pound of spores, you'd have to eat the equivalent of 1,000 pounds of mushrooms. So include
Oh,
into the tinctures, I think really help us give an edge and stuff. But
so it's
so
like, so you're talking about red reishi, correct?
talking about
So,
red.
so the amount of medicinal properties and I guess strength in medicine in this tincture is about how many, like, if I were to eat,
1 to 1,000, right? So for every pound of spores that you have, it would be the equivalent of eating 1,000 pounds of the mushrooms.
so how much
Right.
is in here?
I actually make it in big batches and big loads, so I really don't have that number for you yet, Tad. I'm really kind of trying to focus, and part of the reason why I want to grow the bigger mushroom, the bigger the mushroom is, the more spore capabilities I got. So
Oh,
they don't have one set, like
I
one
see.
gives off this much spores. Sometimes water gets in there and kind of hammers out the whole spores. And
But
because
it's safe to say like one of these would be the equivalent of eating 10,000 mushrooms.
oh, I see, right?
Bruh,
You don't.
this is way easier.
And the reason why I like the red reishi, its superpower is its adaptogenic ability. So I know a lot of times when talking about mushrooms, that word adaptogenic comes up a lot. And I'm not sure if people really understand what that means. So I think whenever you're dealing with Western medicine, one medicine will either lower something or raise something. You
Oh
don't
yeah.
have a medicine that can do both. And I think a lot of times in our disease, in our sicknesses, it's not always going to be elevated. It's not always going to need or be lowered. And to have a medicine to be able to adjust according to your body is what I think, and truly the magic of medicinal mushrooms is. It's kind of like, it's like adding AI to mushrooms,
Oh yeah. Can
that it
figure it out.
figure it out by itself and adjust accordingly, raise
Oh,
things
that's
up
awesome.
or things. And when you combine reishi with all the other mushrooms, it just gives every that superpower boost. All mushrooms have adaptogenic ability, but this one affects every system. It affects every health benefit, anything from cancer to heart disease. So that's and it does a really good job with inflammation as well, adjusting the cytokine levels. And to be honest, for my wife, out of all the mushrooms she took, red reishi is the most significant change in her inflammation markers.
Oh
Like,
wow.
so they're on every single one and then kind of fed them out and took different tests. She was doing such heavy drugs that they had to test her at least her liver, kidney functions, and we asked for extra tests to just to inflammation markers and stuff. And red reishi seemed to have brought it down the most.
Oh
So
wow.
so I really do truly believe in this, its ability to adjust, like say in cancer, like it does it is able to identify the cancer cells, or shucks, should I not be talking about cancer? I'm
No, you
sorry.
can. No,
Something
for
else.
sure.
That's another thing we've been holy camole. That's been a big issue for us, But it has the ability to identify the cancer cells and shut down the replication of it, while at the same time target it or turn it on enough so it's able to turn it off in some aspect, but yet turn it on just enough so that the immune system can recognize it faster,
Oh,
just
wow.
compatibleness that red reishi gives that none of the other mushrooms give is what I feel kind of wraps a bow on all the mushroom medicine. So yeah, this is definitely one of the mushrooms we grow here. Probably did the best help and support for Lisa's condition. So
Wow.
um yeah, and that was our third mushroom that we went for.
For me personally, the red reishi I take at night, and that's to help me sleep. And for me, that mushroom was a immediate effect. Like I know some of the other mushrooms, like it's not just I put it on my tongue and oh wow, that works. That one, I mean the other ones kind of over time you can still feel the benefits of it. But the red reishi, I took it and the night that night I went to sleep early. I stayed asleep, which kind of was hard for me. I don't have where like, I don't have a hard time sleeping, but that one wiped me. It just put me to sleep, and it was such a peaceful way, and it was an immediate kind of thing. Like I took melatonin before, and it was kind of similar to that without I would get nightmares with melatonin. And that one didn't give me no nightmares, but it was effective from the first time I did it. And I take it before I sleep every single night. It's been pretty cool.
Nice. And you know what? That's actually one of the more common things that I've been hearing from the customers, as far as immediate relief. I think a lot of people wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
All of that has what they call LUTS, or lower urinary tract syndrome. And I tell people that the reishi just helps take care of the urinary tract syndrome. But it's so much deeper than that. There's so many different reasons why there's these tract symptoms there, and it can be anything from an imbalance in your liver to drinking too much water at night, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah.
It's usually a stressed version of some type of system. And I believe that's why reishi gives you that profound effect. It's such a great balancer. It's such a great equalizer. Whatever in your body is out of whack, it kind of settles it. And again, everything from urinary tract to even your mood and stuff like that too. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
That's one
right.
more common things I've been hearing from the reishi, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's super cool. I definitely am a fan. So that was your third mushroom. Your fourth one is the turkey tail. Okay, let's take a small break to shout out our sponsors, Medicinal Mushroom Hawaii. They're a locally based medicinal mushroom company, and they got a whole bunch of different mushrooms that you can sample. Each one of these mushrooms, we have lion's mane, chaga, turkey tail, red reishi, and the newest one, cordyceps. But each one of these mushrooms have a medicinal property. It does wonders for you. I take all five of these every single day. I'll take the first three in the morning with my coffee. I'll take the red reishi at night so I can sleep well, and the cordyceps I take for energy, and I'll take that before I work out. Gives me a little boost of energy. But give them a look. It'll on their website. Give them a look on their website. It explains every single one of these mushrooms and what medicinal benefits and health benefits it can give you. Go check their website out at medmushroomhigh.com. And if you decide you want to try one of these mushrooms, use promo code ATB Potapon. Check out all capital letters. You'll get 45% off your first tincture of whatever mushroom you want. Give them a look, medmushroomhigh.com. Aloha.
Turkey tail, and possibly one of the most impactful medicines that I came up with, as far as the thank you letters I've been getting as far
Mm.
as my mushroom medicine helping others. That's been moving. A lot of the thank you letters that I get from that mushroom is the ones that I pull out. And when I'm having a hard time, when me and Jared is hitting our heads against the wall, it's reading those letters that kind of refocuses our attention, makes us remember what we're doing all of this for. And the number one thing, I'm so glad I can talk about cancer, is
Yeah.
it's a cancer fighter. I tell everybody else it's the immune booster because that's really what it does. It boosts the immune system. But the the reason why I built or tried to go for this was for its anti-inflammatory, but was really for the anti-cancer properties. So there's two huge chemicals in turkey tail, and I think turkey tail gives the most of these chemicals that I've found so far in any other plant medicine, and it's called PSK and PSP. So PSK is called polysaccharide crestin, and PSP is polysaccharide peptide. So these are polysaccharides, and what the PSK does is that it acts the NK cells or the natural killer cells in your body, and also the T cells, the T killer cells
Oh,
for cancer. And the PSP is increases the white blood cell count. So when you put those two together, it becomes a very, very powerful cancer fighter as well as something that they take in conjunction with cancer. So this is actually something that Japan prescribes as a cancer medication.
oh
China
wow.
on a wide. They use it sometimes singly by itself, and then sometimes they use it in conjunction with chemotherapy or
Oh
any of the
wow.
therapies that they go with. But it's really an immune booster. There's actually two prebiotics that's found in turkey tail, and bifidobacterial and lactobacillus. I'm not sure if I'm saying it, but yeah, these things really boost your immune system. And a lot of times when people go through chemotherapy, that's the one thing that gets hit the hardest. So a lot of time that nausea, that throwing up that people get
Oh yeah.
chemotherapy treatments really seem to get sedated or kind of put down when taking turkey tail in conjunction with this. It does everything from lower blood sugars, lower lipid levels. It protects the liver from hepatotoxicity.
Oh
That
wow.
combining it with chaga is your immune booster plus your antioxidant makes it a really powerful combo. But yeah, it was really the I got a story about this lady who had a husband, and this was her always been getting pancreatic cancer. She got three bouts of it. The first two times, they were able to at least stop it so that it didn't grow, but it never really went away. So by the third time he got it, he told the wife, "I'm done. I'm not taking any more chemotherapy treatments." He kind of gave up. She read about our turkey tail, and she was actually bought drops from us and was sneaking it into his coffee, not without him knowing. Uh, no, yeah, you can't really taste it, so he didn't even know. And then the next time they went to go test, his cancer like not only stopped but actually shrank for
Oh
the
wow.
everything. And after about 2 months of doing this every single day, he was cancer free.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's like cancer free. And there's been a lot of different people talking and saying the same stuff with breast cancer, with lung cancer, with colon cancer. Some of these is really, really heavy and fast acting, fast growing cancers. But yeah, and some they take it with other things. They change their diet. Some don't do anything at all. But
Wow.
just the responses from is I think what really made me realize we might have something something to do with it. And it also gets us in a lot of hot water. We sell a lot of our tinctures on Etsy.
Mm,
And is like one more comment away. They're gonna shut us from the platform. And it's not really even us saying that we can cure cancer. I mean, we knew from the beginning that's a very sensitive subject and something to stay,
yeah,
but it's really the thank you letters or responses that we've been getting from the customers that's been getting us into a lot of hot trouble. So
that's
yeah,
crazy.
kind of crazy,
I
right?
have my own thoughts about that and opinions, but uh just because I'm in cancer research, I do know cancer is big business. And any type of form that might stop big business, there's going to be pushback. That's all I'm going to say about that.
You don't make money curing stuff. You make money with the therapy
Treating it. You make
treat.
money treating stuff because
Yep.
it can last for a long time.
Right.
You can have
Right.
a customer for 1 day or you can have a customer for 5 years.
Right.
What's going to make you more money?
Right.
We're
Right.
probably going to get canceled, but whatever.
Oh, yes, been getting a lot of pushback. And it's kind of cool to see the type of people that I've been meeting. There's a lot of people that really don't trust the doctors so much anymore, or kind of fed up with the Western medicine, or looking for an alternative. It almost seems like they kind of put you on a track. If, oh, you got diagnosed with diabetes, okay, we're gonna do this, this, this. You got this much time. By this much time, you're gonna be type 1 diabetic.
Yeah.
Next, you're gonna have renal failure, and then we're gonna, there's kind of
They
these,
they don't just say stop eating sugar.
right, right, just go on a diet.
Yeah, don't eat sugar. Say, oh, let's put you on this medicine. Now I can get paid for like years while you still eating the stuff that got you the disease from the beginning.
The beginning. Hey man, I can go so deep in this. Like
Yeah,
I've been privy to information that people's been trying to share with me, and it almost seems like they purposely do this. Purposely poison
yeah,
food. It's really important to read the ingredients and look at what's going in there. And it's always the products that's on sale. Try to look
yeah.
at the again, not trying to get you canceled, brother.
All good, bro. So that was the fourth mushroom.
Yeah. And then the fifth one,
Wait,
probably
I had a question before we get into the cordyceps.
uh,
Taking these, so like I said, I take these every day, and I did stop for like a few months because I ran out and I just never got to re-up, and I could tell the difference. I felt like my mood was a little worse. I got maybe a little bit more snappy at situations that I probably wouldn't have. I definitely felt a little more groggy, and I was assuming that was for not taking lion's mane. But when I started back up again, I could honestly feel the difference change back. So because I took it for a long time, then I stopped, and then I took it again. I definitely had markers where okay, this gradually I feel this way, but I couldn't really put a stamp on it because it was a gradual change for the positive. But then when I stopped, there was a decline in certain things. And then when I started again, a there was lines where I could kind of give myself a timeline to match it up with when I took it. And that kind of, for me personally, and I only can speak for myself from my interactions with this stuff, I could tell the difference. And that's not just magic. That's not just placebo. That's for real kind of stuff. And um for me, I was impressed, but I had a question like if I were to take like I take this stuff, say I take it in the morning, is there like a shelf life in my body where if I don't take it again, then it's like I gotta start all over?
Right, right. So yes, there is not to the point where it matters if you take something in the morning or something in the daytime. But I do notice if you skip a day or two, you kind of reset the whole clock. And
Mm.
I believe it's that adaptogenic ability. So all the mushrooms have an adaptogenic ability, not just the red reishi. And it really takes time for your body to reset, refigure out what's going on in your body, and then adjust accordingly. What I do notice with this medicine, they all have this fast effect, like the lion's mane, the mental clarity happens right then and there,
Yeah.
whereas the gut and the H. pylori in your system will take some time for it to adapt. So yes, there is somewhat of a shelf life, and I do notice the people that got the greatest benefit from this mushroom medicine had two common factors. One, they changed their diet, but number two is consistency. A
Yeah.
lot of people, when they tell me, "Oh man, that thing didn't work," and when I find out later that they weren't really taking it consistency. And we are such a culture that when we take something, we want to feel it right then and there,
Yeah. Yeah.
something because we need that to happen. So, and then when you talk about in that kind of sense, looking for that type of benefits, those really they're not as obvious, like you said. They're not as known, we tend to overlook a lot of those things. And then I've been telling people if you want to know exactly what the mushroom medicine does, take it consistently for a month, and then stop taking it
Yep.
and notice what goes away, what you notice is slightly different, and then take it again, and I usually tell them take a break, a week or two just to really get the effects of it. It takes about 2 weeks for all the mushroom medicine to get out of your system and set you back to zero, so
Yeah.
those people that are really not too sure what it does for them, that's what I tell them to just get off the tinctures, see what's missing, and then what comes back when you take it again. So yeah, Ron, that's definitely that's a good way to test
Yep.
what's working, it's not.
And that's
Yeah.
definitely something I can attest to personally. And I do know that what we're going to talk about next, I felt immediate. And that
Yeah.
was a surprise. And you said you don't like the taste of that one, but I like the taste of cordyceps. But we can get into cordyceps because I'm a fan of this stuff, man.
As you notice, I got my cordyceps and all that. This is absolutely my number one favorite tincture that I've made. And like you said, a lot of it I could feel immediately, And really, the number one thing it does is it increases your energy. It increases your ATP production, and you can feel it. It doesn't take a long time for you to actually feel the dose of it. For me, about 5 minutes after keeping it under my tongue, and that's another thing. So I keep this one, I take it strictly under my tongue, I notice I get a quicker effect, a little bit stronger effect under my tongue than adding it to my coffee. And yes, the result is immediate, and for us, I'm a dad trying to raise the kids, trying to run this mushroom farm. Right about that 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is usually when I used to reach for the monster drink, and
Yeah.
this that extra boost that I needed in the middle, it's either that or go take a nap. And who has time for a nap, right?
Yep. For real.
The thing I do like about this is that there's not that crash. Like whenever I drank Monsters, yeah, it worked, it revved me up. But when I was coming down, you really got that feeling, that kind
Yeah.
of bleached feeling type of thing. And in the end, I'm pretty sure I got more tired than anything, which made me drink another Monster. And man,
Yep.
to be a monster, like
Yeah. And there's
really.
some filth in that stuff.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. It's so crazy, but yeah, that's I love it for the energy boost, and it really oxygenates your system. So not only does it increase your energy, but it also allows your body to more efficiently use the oxygen. And that just
Oh,
everything. It helps the antioxidant ability. It helps all your organs, and more importantly, and probably why China had this really, really popular was it helps increase male sex drive, particularly in people like us,
yeah.
it increase the blood flow down into the male genital areas. It also helps increase the testosterone level. So, kind of, yes, we know about that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Also, the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties seem to circulate around the genital regions for men too. So, yeah, it's known as the Himalayan Viagra, what the
Oh, okay.
use
Oh, I didn't
long.
know that.
Right, all right. I try not to advertise it too much, kind of get the weird look, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely one of the bigger reasons why the Chinese people used it in the old times too. But yeah, it's such a interesting mushroom to work with. It's been I that particular mushroom, it also for asthma. It really helps out
Oh,
with the
wow.
I actually have my daughter take it every morning. Every morning she takes the Cordyceps. So for those of you who is wondering if this tincture is safe, I feed it to my daughter and kids.
Bruh, now that you bring that up, I haven't used my inhaler for a while.
Oh,
And
Tab.
now that you bring it up, and I carry my inhaler everywhere. I have one in my bag. I have one in my truck. I have one at home. But I haven't used it. Now that I think of it, I never knew that though.
You, yes, yes. Oxygen
Oh,
usage. And it's amazing. When we first started off, I researched a lot of it. Within this 2 years, since the cordyceps just came out, like maybe what, a couple months ago, it took a
yeah.
long for us to really get our handle hold and produce a tincture of it. But the information out there seems to have disappeared. Like it's not out there so much anymore. So I don't know if we're talking about this industry-wide cap. Maybe that's what's going on, but I was able to find a study in which they use this for the SARS and COVID testing, and the
Oh,
results that found from the cordyceps is amazing, man. It's super amazing. I got to dive deeper into that and really read exactly how cordycepin, that's the active ingredient, cordyceps, really take care of all of that too. But yeah, in my website, there's a link right below the last benefit that people can click on, and it goes straight to that study. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty
okay.
all the different things that go on. But yeah, that's been our number one thing. It's what kind of stopped me and Jaren, gave me and Jaren a lot of go hair working with the mushroom, and it's
Yeah.
so different from the rest of the mushrooms that we grow. And its natural inhabit, and then like I told you in the last show, it really infects insects and larva species in particular. So it infects it, it uses its bodies as nutrients, and when it's strong enough, it kills it, zombifies it, and pops out of its brain, kind of.
Yeah.
Definitely something that they believed a long time ago only grew in the high mountaintops of China with this ghost moth larva species. But so it was very, very expensive. They called it the caterpillar fungus. I think that strain right now costs about a 10,000 bucks a kilogram. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
hard to get, very hard to make into medicine, right? Only the rich could do it. But throughout the years, I think they found maybe 700 more species growing all over the world. It doesn't necessarily have to be in high altitudes. It doesn't necessarily have to be off the moth species. They're finding it in spiders and ants and all
Oh,
different
nice.
books and stuff like that. And they even came up with a strain that they can grow in the labs. One particular strain, they call it the Cordyceps militaris, and that's the cordyceps that we tend to work with. It have
Okay.
a higher cordycepin amount, and you're able to grow it at home. You don't need no fancy high altitude larvas living in or anything like that. People grow it on rice in the same kind of tent that we grow in and able to farm this medicine. And I think that's why cordyceps now became so popular. The price of the
Okay.
medicine dropped a lot now, but yeah, definitely a lot of different things that we try to implement with it. Um, One of them we try to do is take the cordyceps strain and start injecting it into coconut rhinoceros beetles, hoping that we could find up something that a biological agent that could try and help stop it.
Mm.
My daughter actually did a science fair project for Kamehameha schools, and we got the okay and approval from Department of Ag. So we started. We probably got maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months into the program, and then we got shut down by Department of Ag. And they kind of took all of our tests, took all of
Wow.
our, and yeah, that was a turning point for us, so to
That's kind
speak.
of odd though. Why would they suppress that from?
I have my theories, but I do know shortly after that they applied for a grant for cordyceps rhinoceros.
Oh, that's the
Millions
reason.
and millions, and the person that we were helping to help put this thing together is in charge of coming up with a bioactive agent. Now, I'm not saying that's what they're going to use. I'm not saying that they stole the idea from us, but
I'll
there's
say it. Fuck.
a
We should go to his house, but no, no, no.
Well, these guys, they did like the full court press. Like they threatened jail time. They wanted
Wow.
all our slides. They wanted all our written stuff. I mean, they wanted every liquid culture. Like we actually developed a strain to target the coconut rhinoceros beetles, and that's the one they wanted from us. And again, I'm not, this is us, us. We tend to jump all the way on the other side. Not really happened, but I lost it and they got a ton of money afterwards.
Bruh, that's
Kind of crazy. And this was through my daughter's eighth grade science project. Like the
wow.
Not the Po'oku are the principal for intermediate involved. The science fair teacher was all up in arms. He was super angry, really tried to advocate for us. But in the end, Department Ag is Department of Ag. And at first they were like the evil people, but by the time I went down, met with them, talked story with them, I really respect what they're trying to do. They have such a big responsibility in trying to stop all these different species from coming in. And I didn't look at it from their point of view. Now, if this thing attacks insects, is this definitely something that we want growing in the wild? Would hate to be a contributor to a zombie
Wipe
apocalypse.
out or wipe out a bunch of insect species that we need.
Right,
Okay,
right.
that makes sense. That can alleviate the blow a little bit because we don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. And when I talked to them, the reason why they gave us the go ahead was because one section of Department of Ag asked us all kinds of questions, how we're going to collect these samples, what we're going to do after the samples is done, or how we're disposing of it and stuff. And that seemed to fit into the categories to give us the green light. But because they're so underworked and understaffed, I think by the time the people that should be talking about mushrooms and any type of mycelial species got involved was months down the line, and I guess came across their desk and they were like, wait.
Oh, let's put the brakes on this thing. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Right. So really going down there and talking to them. And, I'm glad we did, Ron, because I found out we need license to grow the lion's mane mushrooms.
Oh,
So I
okay.
growing the lion's mane mushrooms illegally. I didn't get the proper permits and stuff like that. And by this time we was like selling lion's mane mushrooms to Roy's and 53 by the
Yeah.
Sea stuff, you know. Yeah, I'm so glad this bad thing happened because in the end we actually came out better and stronger.
Okay. And more and got the permits you needed.
Got the permits we need.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's been quite the journey with the
Yeah.
cordyceps. It's
Well,
been
for my experience with cordyceps, and I, like I said before, I only can speak on what how it works with me, is I'll take it on my way to the gym. This is my pre-workout. I hated regular pre-workout. For one, it wigged me out. It makes my skin tingle. I have a hard time sleeping if I take too much of it. It's just I don't like that rev, and it just, and it tasted chemically. There's probably a whole bunch of stuff in there that I shouldn't be taking, but this stuff gives me not even like a excitement kind of high. I just feel more energized, whereas like I don't get tired as fast. And when I'm working out, like say I'm on the stairmaster, what would gas me out, like I can continue the push, if that makes sense. I can just continue my pace and I can push myself a little bit more than what I could before. Even lifting weights and uh just even being in the sauna longer. I can make it to 30 minutes, and the energy it gives me, it feels like a healthy increase of stamina without any kind of chemically feel or like a burst, like even caffeine. It doesn't give you that caffeinated kind of wake up. It just like, oh, okay. Like, and this stuff, the day one, I took it that that day I felt the difference. And I'm a fan of that stuff. I That's my favorite too. Well, I like lion's mane too because it helps my brain, but that stuff physically does something to me, and that I like. And that like the red reishi was an immediate reaction from the moment I took it. And yeah, plus too, the bottle, it looks cool with that yellow fluorescent, kind of.
we was told that the cordyceps, because this is what it kind of looks like when you grow it, you know, a lot of
Yeah,
little things popping up. But yeah, yeah, I love the cordyceps for that exact reason too, Tad. This is definitely something that you don't second guess. This is something that you definitely feel. So
yeah.
far, unless people are lying to me, every single person that's taken it has actually felt something.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of good. When it came out, the canoe regattas just started, you know,
Oh, that's a
and that thing and it just kind of took off. Yeah, I actually found out that sports group has been taking cordyceps, but they've been doing powders and stuff like this, pill
oh,
with the cordyceps and stuff. So when I got my stuff in there was really not a lot of selling I had to do. They all understood what cordyceps was and was taking it from the previous season
oh
before
wow.
with the tinctures, you know, not trying to toot our own horn, but when you're comparing it to powders, people are just grinding up the mushroom. Where as a tincture form, you're actually pulling out a lot of the medicine. We do a dual extract tincture where we use alcohol for one extract and then a slow cook for a second one. So, and then you combine them into a dual extract, and you can really feel the difference from these powder and pills. And I think that's what a lot of people has been taking right now, a lot of the powder and pills. So yes, you definitely get a little bit stronger jolt from everything, you know. We definitely want to start hit up some coffee shops and put them in there. I
Oh
think
wow.
with the cordyceps for our culture, like I said, people our age, we want to feel something, you know. If we buy,
Yeah.
put it and take it, we want to feel that immediate result, you know. Taking stuff like the turkey tail, the red reishi, the chaga, you don't really get that immediate satisfaction or immediate difference
Yeah.
like cordyceps do. So I think starting and leading off with that and sharing that cordyceps tincture first might open their mind or possibility for the other tinctures as well.
Oh,
But
that makes sense. And
yeah.
like you said, the this day and age, everybody wants an immediate effect and not have to go through a slow process. This one was immediate, and for me, I'm a fan. That's my favorite, and
Mhm.
I believe in the other ones, and I do know because when I stop the difference. But that one, like I said, I take it and it's okay. It's time for the gym, and I wait. I don't take it in the morning because I have my coffee. So my coffee gets me to the gym, and that gets me through the rest of my workout and the rest of the day. And I take that every day. We're doing some tests on me and my blood because I feel like from what I've researched on it, it supposedly increases red blood cells. We did a baseline, we did a middle test, and we're gonna do a future test, and we'll kind of give you the results already. But already from the middle part of our testing, it's been positive, and we'll come out with the report in a bit, bruh. But I'm kind of kind of certain that's the reason.
Nice, Todd. Nice. And thank you, Rod. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
uh, that. You working in the lab, you having that is all perfect timing.
Yeah.
Person, position to be in. And I'm very excited about all of that. It
Yeah.
does increase that white blood cell count. And, that's definitely something that,
Red blood cell. Red blood cell.
sorry,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's, the turkey tail. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
So for people who don't know, red blood cells increase oxygen throughout your body. Red blood cells is what carries oxygen throughout your body. And one of the reasons why, if you were to go to the Olympic Training Center, it's in high altitude in Denver, or in Denver, Colorado. So because it's high altitude, your body will naturally produce more red blood cells. So the athletes that are training in high altitude will naturally produce more red blood cells. So when they compete, they don't fatigue as fast. And the more red blood cells, the more energy you have. Oxygen brings energy, and that is from what I've been reading, is what the cordyceps is known to do. And for me, I don't want to jump the gun, but from our mid test, I'm pretty happy with the results. And I was honestly thinking I was going to be able to talk about it today more because I thought it was going to be a lot more, but I think what's happening is going to show in the final stage of us testing.
right on, Todd. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. And yes, I definitely like to get the testing done on a lot of different stuff. I hope to get to a point where I can start doing a lot of these tests. A lot. I mean, I know this has been taken thousands of years ago from China, but when you talk about control groups and that's really a Western concept. And like you said, there's might be powers to be that really don't want a cure out there. So trying to sift through all the tests and finding the right labs to help start stuff like this. I believe that's where the collaboration of the community will come into play,
Yeah.
and another thing too, wanting to build up this community. And I realize there's a lot more people than I initially thought that are looking for an alternative to Western medicine, aren't happy with the things their doctors is telling them too. So yeah, so very excited. I really hope to get into cancer, get into red blood cell, white blood cells,
Yeah.
the cholesterol, the diabetes management, all everything. It's just yeah, yeah.
It's exciting. Yeah.
Exciting. It is exciting. I just wanted to cure Lisa. I wanted her to stop taking cancer. It's pretty much chemotherapy what they were giving her, just a
Yeah.
watered down version something that she could take on a long-term basis, but had no idea the depth of all this could get to, you know. And I do believe the mushrooms can provide people with the right diets, with the right exercise. It can really boost and be that healing tool I think everybody is looking for, you know, without the big pharma controlling everything too, man.
Yep, I definitely believe in it. Okay, let's take a short break to shout out IREP Detail Supply. They're your one-stop shop superstore for everything you need to detail any vehicle you have. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center as well as Las Vegas, and they pretty much have everything you can think of to make your car looking, smelling, shiny, whatever you need. They have a great staff that's very knowledgeable and that can help you with any questions you have. You can go to their website at irepdetailsupply.com. Use promo code ATBpod upon checkout. You'll get 15% off your entire purchase order. Give them a look. irepdetailsupply.com. Aloha. I wanted to ask you throughout the last couple of years of you doing this company and providing medicine for people, what has been kind of like the most common questions you're asked when presenting your product or when people encounter you with questions they have with what the product does?
Got you, got you. Health benefits, yes, definitely. But I gotta say, the most common question is, does this have psilocybin in it? You know,
It's not gonna get make me make the walls breathe.
well, I gotta take drug tests, bro. I gotta be taking these guys. These are other kind of mushrooms, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest. But you know, it's actually been kind of cool. That's definitely something I ran into, say, 2 years ago. But what I've been noticing recently, as soon as I tell people lions being turkey tail,
Yeah.
there's a lot more recognition going on, you know, a lot more understanding what the medicinal mushrooms is and kind of breaking us away from that psilocybin type thing. But um uh, I think a lot of people, the dementia. I think that's the
Mm.
big number one. Out of all the mushrooms, yes, cordyceps, but the viral mushroom right now is lion's mane. You know, that's been
Yeah.
pumped through the media. The idea of helping dementia and Alzheimer's has really been a big thing, and that's probably been the number one thing that's being asked about. And how does this help? What components of this helps, you know, and then going into what I just went into that first.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that's probably been the number one thing. Um, then there's a lot of autoimmune. I think it's because I'm sharing our story about how we got into all of this. So I've actually had a lot of people calling about lupus or other forms of autoimmune diseases and inflammation and stuff like that. Uh, I've noticed it's usually people that there's something, you know, there's a chronic condition going on, a chronic disease, diabetes management, high blood pressure management, you know, that's been really what they ask about. A lot of now that the cordyceps have come out, I've been getting a lot of the sports questions, you know, exactly
Yeah.
explaining how the endurance works. Why do we get a boost of where does that boost of energy come from? How does it affect our oxygen levels and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So depending on the mushrooms, I notice, but I do get a very wide range of people who are looking to do this just to get that edge or make it through the day nicely, versus somebody that got a chronic condition, you know, getting a lot more of those other than the everyday usage just to get our fine tune, so to speak. So yeah, yeah. Out of all the mushroom questions, that the lion's mane, Alzheimer's, memory, you know, the mood improvement has been another big one. I think a
Mm.
lot of people are looking for an alternative
That
medicine
one
for
makes my wife happy.
makes everybody happy. Yeah. Yes, and I think a lot of it is the medicine out there, you know. A lot of the medicine that you take for mood enhancement can be habit forming, you know.
Yeah.
And kind of swing you the other end too, you know, where
Yeah.
if off of it, you might start having depressive thoughts. And I think just us in general, like living in the lifestyle that we live right now, I think a lot of the mood regulation is a big thing in people's lives right now too. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's probably been the most popular questions that we get asked. But
That's super cool. That's understandable. And you got five mushrooms here. I think, like I told you earlier, if you make one more, Donald Duck got to get the boot. He's gone. 'Cause I'm running out of room over here. But is that the five you're sticking with, or are you trying to work with another species?
So basically, this is going to be the five I started with, and probably really want to explore what each one of these can do. From the get-go, this was the five mushrooms that I circled and really wanted to work with. And I think understanding how each mushroom can affect people goes way more deep than I possibly could even have time for, you know. So
Yeah.
trying to focus on each one and running tests or running yes, group tests and stuff like that would be definitely something I want to get involved with. Right now too, there's no lab that's able to identify the different components in the mushrooms. um,
Oh,
for example, lion's mane, there's no test out there that can tell you how much hericium is in there or how much arenaceous is in there, you know. They just lack that test, that connection between grower and tester just never been explored, you know. And I think I really want to find a lab that will work with me, that we can figure out how to run these tests because without really knowing what's in your drops, there's a lot of fake drops out there. You know, there's a
yeah.
lot putting in these fake things that will give you ups and downs and crashes and highs and stuff like that. And
Immediate reactions, huh?
reaction, yes, yeah, yeah. So finding a quality tester where you can take it in and say, oh, you know what? 30% of this is hericium, 20% of this is arenaceous, or 80% of this has cordycepin, you know, just finding and fine tuning that type of information, I believe, is definitely something I want to go for. So to answer, that was a long answer for your question, but I kind of want to stick and focus on these mushrooms. These mushrooms' health benefits include all the other mushroom health benefits out there. There's a lot. There's shiitake, there's maitake, there's oyster mushrooms,
Yeah.
a lot of different edible mushrooms out there, and that's why I think those are in the mix. You know, these are mushroom farms that really grow mushrooms for edible mushrooms. Most mushroom farms won't grow it for medicine. There's just not a lot of money. Most of their revenue come from selling to chefs, farmer markets, and stuff like
Yeah.
this. Since I got them, might as well tincture them, you know, and that's
Yeah.
kind of why they get those kinds of medicines for them. Not saying they're not good medicines, they're very, very good medicines, but they kind of overlap each one of those five, you know, those five encompasses almost all the benefits that you can get. So yes, yeah, yeah. I definitely want to stick with this. I want to focus more on each mushroom. I have so much different plans and different things I want to do with them, you know, just working with the mycelium beyond the tinctures, you know. There's
Yeah.
getting stronger, better medicine, you know, creating a powder that's really an extract and not just grind it up mushroom
Yeah.
capsulize and give to people, you know. So that I believe in the mushroom medicine world, there's a lot that we can push, a lot more quality that needs to be explored in order for it to really give us the advantages we're looking for. So yes, I'm gonna just stick with these mushrooms. So I'm pretty sure Donald Duck is safe for now,
Donald Duck is safe, right on. That's cool.
anywhere anymore, but yeah, yeah.
Well, we've
There's
been going over an hour, and I mean, I could talk about this stuff for a couple more hours. I could talk to you for like days. So we'll have a three-part mini series.
oh if I could just give one shout out, Tad, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. So, with your community, I met up with super cool brother Khalil Teixeira. We kind of grew
Oh,
with each other, yes, and
yeah.
we found each other from watching your podcast, Tad. So, super thank you for that. But we actually partnered up together, and
Oh,
we're using
nice.
my mushroom knowledge and his knowledge on dogs, and we are coming out with our pet line of mushroom tinctures. So
Yeah.
his knowledge and access to dogs, we're testing these products and really trying to formulate. Right now, we're just going for two tinctures and try to figure out which ones affect the dogs the most. But he knows all the health things that's
Yeah.
wrong, things to look out for. So it's really a marriage. Like it's so cool talking with that brother. Like,
Oh yeah, he's good people. Yeah.
so like we
He
kind of
he's like you, bro. He deep dived into his dog food business. I
like
feed raw Hawaii. Yeah,
raw.
and he is knowledgeable. He's exactly like you. Bruh, local Kaneohe boy is doing big things. And for me, I'm so proud of what both you guys are doing. I didn't know that you guys linked up. That's gonna be awesome.
Actually, something that just happened recently. Like he contacted me like just recently. I went over to his house, sat down, talked story. I never talked story for him like years and years. Always see him on the fly. Got to watch his stuff and was really mesmerized by the amount of knowledge he knew on dogs and
Yeah.
feeding. More importantly, the health of his dogs, and why his I feed raw is so important for most dogs to eat. And like I said, for myself, my customers that found the best results from the tinctures was the ones that changed their diet and took it consistent. So we started toying around with ideas. I mean, in the future, we hope to try and put mushroom infused dog food, which would really tap onto a
Wow.
diet and a consistent taking of the tincture. But yeah, right now we're just trying to focus on the drops right now. And
That's
yeah,
so sick.
really putting together both our brains and coming up with something that uh, for dogs, like
That's gonna be another episode. I have both you guys on because I definitely want to listen to between you two Portuguese. That's gonna be one 5 day episode.
that's so rough. Thank you, Khalil, for reaching out.
Yo, shout
Yeah,
out to him. Yo,
uh,
he's good people. I'm stoked that you guys linked. That's
yeah, no.
for me. That makes me understand like this is why I do what I do, and that stuff makes me happy. And I always get stoked when I see Kaneohe people doing big things. That's just our roots. I just had a chef on who I didn't know was from Kaneohe, and she's been blowing up, and she lives right by the kind Kokokahi, and I didn't even know, and like it's just seeing our community thrive and doing big things. It makes me proud, and we all could go either way. You know what I mean?
A lot of brothers that did go your
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
but good to see the hustlers, bro. You got some smart people, that we grew up with, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Your mushroom and your product, not only can they get it on medmushroomhigh.com, your website, which people got to check out because there's also information on all these mushrooms on that website. So if you want to look at their website, medmushroomhigh.com, it'll have the information. You can order the tinctures. But where can people physically buy these tinctures?
Awesome. So that's actually the newest thing that we're going through. The first store that carried it was Hardcore 808 Nutrition, Peter's them shop up at Hikaha Street in Pro Ridge, Pro City. So they do have tinctures over there. We do have it in Mana Foods up in Maui. We just got it into Ina Farm Stand in Haleiwa,
Oh
and
wow.
I'm we get it in Vim and Vigor, but that's what me and Jaren is working on right now. We want to service the locals. A lot of the tinctures have been going to the mainland, and I really would like to get it to the locals first. I think it's the right time to get it out there, hang our signs up there, But yes, so Hardcore 808, Mana Foods, and Ina Farm Stand, and coming soon, Vim and Vigor. So
Oh,
yeah.
right on. And social media wise, where can people find you on Instagram and also your website?
Yeah, Instagram at Med Mushroom High on the Instagram. We do have a TikTok channel,
Oh,
and yes, yeah, I gotta say, I totally suck at social media. Oh man, and that's no excuse because that's the number one way to get out there right now. I kind of had my kids jump on and they had these big ideas and they came out with a couple posts that I would cancel them, Pat. I don't know what was going on, but um, that's definitely something that we're gonna start tagging into. I would really like to show some behind the scenes, really show
yeah.
people what we're doing, growing everyday wise, working in the lab, just health benefits, education in small doses, not where you get the glazed over look anymore,
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be trying to post more. That's not an easy thing, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
But yes, yeah.
As always, you can find us at Above the Bridge Podcast on our Instagram and our YouTube channel. You can go to our website at atbpod.com, and you can also go to my Instagram at Fatty Daddy High. And I do appreciate you being one of my biggest sponsors for anybody checking out their website. If you do want to buy a tincture, use promo code ATB pod upon checkout, all capital letters. You'll get 45% off your first tincture. Yep. And I have my reads throughout the whole, every single show. So at any time you can listen to our show and you'll get that read.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Tad. Thank you for always putting me out there, brother.
Thank
Really,
you.
the support, the connectivity you provided us with, really met some good brothers from what you do, Tad. So really
That's
want to
super cool.
thank you very much, brother.
Automatic. Well, I look forward to the future. I know this is still infancy. Like this company is gonna blow. You got Jaren on board, and that like a motivated Jaren is a scary thing, and he's definitely motivated, and that's exciting. I think in the future we'll have you back again because this is gonna grow, and I want to document the growth, and I feel like you're blessing not only just like you said Hawaii, but out of the island people, the mainland people, and it all started with you trying to save your wife and help your wife. And for me, the benefits been amazing. I love it. I love this stuff. And I'm so thankful that I have it readily available to me within a phone call. And I appreciate that. And it's been a blessing for me. It's been a blessing for my family because I'm in a better mood, and it became my morning ritual. I also want to thank you. You've made, I don't know if you're selling these, but you made a bottle with all four in one. And that for me has been super awesome because whenever I travel, I just take that one bottle and I still have it because it was a big bottle. I'm taking it to Maui on Thursday. My daughter got a volleyball tournament in Maui. I'm taking that with me. And for me personally, it's been awesome because it's convenient. I don't got to bring 4 bottles with me. I can just bring that one. And that's been amazing too.
Right on, Tad. Yes, we definitely wanted to get the mixes up in there. Combining different mushrooms together really give you different boosts and stuff like that. And that is also another thing that we hope to dive into, really customizing medicine for the people that they want it. You want 2 doses of lion's mane and one chaga.
Oh,
I want to be able to provide that. The logistics of it right now is what needs to be worked on. So we actually kind of put pause on that. But if I have people asking because of this, I will definitely bring that back. And for you,
oh,
brother,
that's cool.
anything, bro,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
you let me know. You get direct link, brother.
Well, I appreciate you, man, and thank you for taking time. I do want one of those shirts.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
For each of the bottles, but yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
will hopefully get the swag is a whole different other thing that we're
Let's
hoping.
go. Well,
Right.
I'm on board to support and help in any way possible. I've been blessed just from the medicine. So thank you very much. That's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you for coming on. Shakas for the cameras.
Thank you for having me, brother. Thank you, everybody. Mahalos for the support. Right. Oh,
Right on. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Room Network. Aloha.
aloha, brother.